Questioning Everything with Garrett and Adam.
Do you actually, here on a side note, do you think that those conspiracies are true? Like, out of curiosity, Adam, like that he's like trying to fucking vaccinate the world and chip everybody, and he's fucking up.
I don't think he's evil. No.
Yeah.
I think he's Google.
He's what?
He's Google.
What's Google?
He's worse than evil. Is he's a progressive, and a progressive.
Wait a minute.
Is somebody?
What?
He's worse than evil. He's a progressive with the most money that
So
second
he's
richest.
bad. He's bad in your opinion.
I think
Google.
I think what
Never
he
even
does
heard
has
that
a huge
word.
potential to be bad. I think what he does has a huge potential to be good. It just depends, right? Unfortunately, progressives just do things, and they think that what they think is what's good.
So he's neutral. He's just he's just
I would
doing.
guess. I would guess that he means well.
That's right. But I see what you're saying. He's a progressive.
I do not think
means
he doesn't mean well.
But in the wake of his fucking shit,
Yes.
people are going to suffer.
I think that he will cause suffering because progressives do things without
Consequence necessarily.
thinking them entirely through, and you can't, right? The whole idea of
He's a progressive.
of like, we
That's
need to do
dangerous.
something now. We need to make huge shit. Yeah, like he's talking about throwing shit into the atmosphere to block the sun.
What?
And
Why?
well, because that's what it's been to this discussion forever. Now, if you
Oh,
you
man,
were
I'm not-
familiar with
Listen, man, I just watched the Netflix
trying to-
documentary on him, and I found it
Yeah.
interesting. Okay,
if you're familiar with trying to block the sun, then we've literally got like a century of people proposing different things, from soil to sulfur to
I remember you talking
dioxins
about this or
to
something,
different
like
things
blocking
in order
the
to block the sun,
Why?
to lower the temperature of the surface of the earth so that we
You don't even think global warming's real.
which I don't dispute global warming at all.
I thought you said to me once that you'd think it's
I said the paper, catastrophic global anthropomorphic catastrophic global warming, the paper that was being passed around by the UN. I didn't agree with that one. I didn't agree with the hockey stick or the perspective that it's like now let's start a carbon economy. To me it's just a big banking scam. It's a scam put out by bankers
That's
to make more money.
So, but is
And
there like
are we increasing the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by putting it there?
yeah, obviously we are, right?
Sure. Like if you add water to a cup, does it get
Are
fuller?
the polar ice caps melting at such a drastic fucking rate that it's gonna like flood the oceans and take over and like some of the coastlines?
Doesn't appear to be.
Yeah, right. I know.
Well, like the same coastline when we were kids and when my dad was a kid is still there in our neck of the woods. Other places, the coastline's changed. I'm not thinking that it has anything to do with the actual water levels. I'm thinking it has to do with the ground level. The other thing is that water levels at different places of the oceans change at different rates because it's not all the same level, right?
Yeah.
Like sea level's not a determinate thing. It's kind of indeterminate.
Well,
It's based off of like a calculation because
I know, but some of the
it's like if you were to take the center of the earth and then the sea level, it's going to be different.
everywhere. Because
Everywhere.
the tide, obviously, but
Not just the tide, but also just the distribution
There
of
was
the
a
water and the shape of the planet because of gravity and the everything.
who
right?
was it? I was watching the documentary that Leonardo DiCaprio did, and even Jack Black was in there. And Jack Black goes to Florida, and they're like this, and they're like, we projected this will be underwater by 2 or 3 feet by.
That's bullshit.
Well, that's it.
Everybody's just on the pipe, though, right? They're literally on the pipe and they're smoking each other's shit.
Who wasn't
and-
I just man, the amount of research you need to do to really dig deep. But even then, are you getting the right info?
That's
Anyway,
where between 12 and 15,000 years ago,
Who wants to hear us talk about the moon landing?
mankind, 12 to 15,000 years ago, mankind lived in many cultural centers all over the river basins and the ocean basins.
Yeah.
And and the evidence of all that was completely wiped out because it rose like 134 meters. Do you know how much 134 meters is?
That's a lot.
That's so much that you can expect that
That's a lot.
the entire cities of every single city, every single
Gone.
village, of every single cultural center, of every single human people are all underwater now. All of them. So we have like Guadalupe Tepe. I say that wrong.
You totally said that wrong.
I know.
You got Oh, fuck. That's a trippy place, man.
Yeah.
What's it called? Now you got to Google it.
Gobbledygook.
Goggly gloopy gleple. Fuck, and I just heard Graham Hancock talking about this. And Art Bell. Go Beckley. Tapley.
Beckley Tepe.
Oh, so close.
I actually typed in Goggleepi Tepe and it knew what I was
Did
talking
you
about.
know that they actually,
Göbekli
there's
Tepe.
proof that they actually buried that themselves?
Cool. They didn't just get buried in sand?
No, they're saying that it actually was buried by the
Purposefully.
people purposely. That's insane.
Yeah. I'd have to
Can you
look
put
at
into
that.
perspective what this is? Because I'll fuck it up.
Okay. It's an ancient city. Or an ancient ruins. It's the oldest one in the world that we know of. And
Most recently found too. Most recently discovered.
yeah, well, it was just discovered. I don't know. It was made a World Heritage Site in 2018.
Yeah, fuck.
But
18? No, sooner than that. It was discovered probably in like 2013 or 14 or something.
it's been excavated since 1996.
It was found in 96.
It goes back a little bit further, but
Anyway.
discovered in 1963.
What?
Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
at any rate, it's like 12,000 years old or something like that. And so it's dated between 9,600 and 7,000 BC.
But it's weird.
So 9,600 would be.
And how does that relate to
12,000.
global
Say.
warming? We're crazy.
How does it relate to global warming? Oh, yeah. Well, all of the other civilizations, all the other towns that are like Göbekli Tepe are now underwater and are probably just completely fucked, right? Because it's like literally the water's been coming in and out as an ocean tide for it probably spent like 3,000 years just wiping out whatever evidence of human existence and covering it in sand. Maybe if there's some cut stone stuff in the ocean now, we'd be able to see it if we used like LiDAR or something. But for the most part, we're not going to know about human civilizations previous to that period because they're underwater. They're gone. Like they've been erased by ocean.
And was that
Except for
was that a
Göbekli Tepe.
cataclysm? Like, would just snap, crackle, pop? But that's over time.
It's over time, but it really does appear, at least it reads, as a relatively quick incident where
130 meters?
130 meters. Yeah.
That's fucking deep, man. Remember, a meter is 3.3 feet. That's quite a lot. I'm terrible at math too. I'm not good at I don't know politics. I'm terrible at math. I am quite dumb. As we stated at the beginning. No, I'm not dumb. That's not nice. You don't want to say stuff like that to yourself. That seems like a meteor strike kind of like levels there, buds.
Well, it would be the Ice Age recession.
Right.
Because the Ice Age started 250 million years ago and has been receding and receding and receding and receding. What that event would probably be like some gigantic, huge chunk of iceberg that's now melting. But huge, right? A major, quick warming event that raises sea levels dramatically. I mean, it could have even, what is it saying? Between 4,000 and 2,000 years. So that's a couple thousand years.
So anyway,
level
getting
rise.
back to the topic here, just like the rising sea levels now that we're exaggerating a lot of that. Is that basically some of that's just an exaggeration?
Oh, it's totally an exaggeration. Anything that happens now, say like since the 40s, you really have to weigh it against whether or not it's there to fuck with you or whether or not it's real, right? And it really is.
There's a lot of proof, though. I would say that,
that
there's
oceans levels are rising.
Well, just even that
Literally, we
the
live.
planet's fucking dying.
We
man.
live at you've driven to White Rock numerous times in your life.
Oh yeah,
You have.
I was there
right?
recently.
It's an ocean. It's literally the ocean and the beach and the road. We would have moved up 3 houses by now.
Yeah,
Since we
Well, that's
first
right.
came. Since we first came.
Because you've been here how long?
No. Think about it in terms of how long have people been in BC living in White Rock?
Oh wow, yes, yeah,
that
100 years.
At least that ocean and that rock and that pier that's been there, they haven't moved it up.
Yeah,
They haven't had to move all the shit inland.
Interesting.
I live right on the Fraser. the largest
Yeah, I'm
river in
staring
Western
at the
Canada.
river right now,
That's
actually.
a tidal river that's literally goes up and down as a result of the ocean tides. It hasn't been moving up. I'd literally be like, wow, this is a great place to live, because you can't see it, obviously, if you're
Even in
listening
the
to
last
podcasts,
20
but
years, though,
I
like-
live like right along the river. We would be moving up to like Kingsway or some shit, because it's like, the ocean keeps rising, so we're losing land, we're losing real estate. You could talk about Florida, but there's also other things where you end up having different tectonic plate stuff, where maybe the east coast of Florida and maybe like Louisiana, where it's
down,
sinking,
going down.
maybe it's going down. The water isn't necessarily rising. You get a coral atoll.
I just wanna know what
that's
to
like, okay,
believe.
this coral atoll is
God.
obviously going under. Well, okay, how much has the water
I
raised?
believe the ocean.
You know what the coral
Now that
atolls
you've
are?
Explained that. Say it again, sorry.
Coral atolls are like islands that are made of coral,
Okay.
right? And that's one of the things that you hear about the threats is in the middle of the ocean, there will be an atoll. The water's rising, right? Well, is it? Is the atoll going down? Is the water rising? Why is it rising there? Why isn't White Rock under the threat, right?
Advertisement loading.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the podcast here, but we got a little bit of an announcement. What's going on, Adam?
Well, everybody should head on over to Patreon and the Questioning Everything Patreon page, where they can show their support by becoming a champion for only $5 per month. The Sophist tier of Patreon gives you not only access to the backstage areas of Discord and the stage area, but allows you to voice chat and text chat in those areas, so you can give us feedback on the show and join the conversation. If you just want to show your support and you don't want to join the Discord, there are a couple tiers for you, or you can join a Discord tier and simply not even use it. It's up to you.
Jawel, neem ze uit de